Alright, much like the versatility of Cho'Gath, I am giving Lee Sin 1. Lee Sin is one of my favorite junglers, even if I'm pretty bad with skill shots to begin with. But not too bad. Like, I love the versatility and the power this guy has. Like, he's incredibly unique in the fact that he has 2 dashes, conditional dashes and whatnot, but he's got lots of damage, lots of power, versatility. He can go any builds you want, masteries and runes. He can take any items he wants. He can start off almost anywhere he wants, even in like a blue, or even if he doesn't need it. The fact that he's so versatile is something I love. Anyways, I'm showing my personal route with Lee Sin. Like, I may have my videos, superior Lee Sin, sustained or whatever, but in the jungle videos I make, I don't exactly give you my builds. I give you general purpose ones, or ones that anybody can use, or ones that best suit the champion for like standard. You're not taking any risks. You're not going any. You don't know the champion too well, or whatnot. So this is my personal build and my personal route, and this is how I work it. I don't follow my own build or route to the letter. I'm experienced enough to deviate. Anyways, I'm using attack damage reds, attack damage quints, armor yellows, and energy flat energy blues. That allows me to pull off the entire combo and then completely dry out, but that's all you really need. So the attack damage runes, you deal so much burst and so much damage when you gank, is ridiculous, and I'm going to show you that in the next couple scenes. I go 2109 as well. I use Doran's Blade instead of getting a lantern. I just buy 2 or 3 Doran's Blades and call it a day. I don't like lantern on a lot of junglers, though it's not a bad item on him because the extra ward and whatnot. Anyway, here's a gank I pull off. Watch how I do it. I do not start off with the Hadouken first. This is very risky too, because the Akali could just straight out murder me. I do the Hadouken kick to the Sona. My Sona picks up the kill. And all around I just try to avoid the Akali. I'm like, I will die if I fight her, but I stick around just in case I can do a shield or some ground slam or whatever to kill her. But, we get the gank and Akali's so damaged she can't even stay. Before I show more clips, I'll explain my path. Take small golems, wraiths, and wolves. A small leash at small golems works out very well since you don't waste one full punch to kill them. Now, immediately, even though the health will be deceptive, you can take blue and then go home, buy an item or boots, or start roaming around in circles. But as you saw there, I started out with my small golems, made my way, and took their wraiths. They didn't have a jungler, which was a stupid idea to begin with, and immediately went down to gank bottom. Of course, I had mouse problems, so it took a little while. I have a new mouse as of today, so that's never going to be an issue again. Ganked bottom. So my skill order was W, E, and Q. I know my videos show otherwise, but again, this is my personal build. I know better. I could have ganked Kassadin, but my mouse screwed up in the key point and I lost a chance, so I went for bottom instead. Now, if you saw my bottom laner, when I ganked bot, my top laner, the one in the 2v1, just got killed and gave up first blood. So he needs help, and that's where I'm going to gank next. Let's go watch that clip then. Anyways, after ganking bottom, I'm level 4. I head top, but first I go home and kill the small golems, and I'm gonna tell my Wukong to engage first, to bait them out. I will be able to kill them if they waste all their CC or if they're just out of position. They burn their CC like I expected, and I go right after the weakened Gangplank. Hadouken is dead. Now, we could have killed the Cho'Gath if our Wukong didn't run away. It won't show here because of the low replay, but Cho'Gath was nearly killed. And now, right after that, I get my red and go to gank mid. Once more, look at how I do this. I don't use my Hadouken to start. Ground slam and slow it down so I can aim my Q a lot easier. And especially since he has a blink. And again, right after I kill mid, I head right back top because they didn't know or learn anything. Immediately, Gangplank drops, and once more, we would have killed Cho'Gath. But, the Wukong just, wasn't willing just to fight him. Just commit to him. Right there, he had about a sliver of health. Now I head back down to mid, and they start pushing again, and they don't learn a damn thing. So I go back in there and get them both killed this time. Of course, my teammate dies during that. See, I kite him around in circles because I'm very weak, and you know, I just get him killed. Now, just to analyze those 4 different ganks, yes, same game, and they were pretty dumb for overextending and doing that over and over. They did put a ward down after that last gank. Like they finally learned. If you notice, what I did is, if I was weak or like I didn't have energy for anything, I stood away from them. I let my teammate deal the damage. If they focused me, I would kite them away. But I'm Lee Sin, so I have the means to get right back into the fight if I wanted to. So while my abilities were down, I wasn't punching them, I was just kiting them in circles. If you saw how I initiated every gank, I used the ground slam first. If they were to blink away, I'd just catch them with the Hadouken thing. Of course, you know, there's different circumstances where if you can land the Q and you need to deal a massive amount of damage first, then go ahead and do that. However, these kids didn't have their escapes, or if they did, they weren't using them properly. So I used my ground slam, and I would wait a little while to slow them. Then, you know, properly aim my Q to make sure, you know, when they're slowed, it hit easier. Especially on the Kassadin, someone with a blink, you want to force them to use that blink, and then you use your Hadouken punch thing. Just Lee Sin, he has many blinks, he has many ways to commit to a fight, so you are able to jump in, jump out, and jump back in if you want. Just kite them over. With the AD runes, you're relying on your abilities to do the majority of the damage, especially the Hadouken thing. So, like, you know, don't just auto-attack them to death. Try to bait them into dying. Actually, that sounded pretty awkward. It's probably better to say that Lee Sin can keep people long enough for him to get enough cycles of his abilities to kill them, especially with the AD runes and the energy runes. Like, you should give them a shot. Now, as far as builds go, I started off again with 3 Doran's Blades because of the ganks I got. My boots eventually became Merc Threads. I built the Warmogs with the intention of building an Anmogs Impaler later, though I first built Magic Resistance like a Force of Nature because the enemy team, you know, the majority of their damage was coming from the Kassadin. The Gangplank didn't farm so well, and I kind of just punished him all game, so he wasn't a big deal early on. Also, the Akali too. It wasn't a big deal early on, but the Atmos would deal with the whole armor aspect later. I later on sold a Doran's Blade to buy the Admog, sold another one to buy a Banshees, and sold the other one to get a Bloodthirster. I had a lot of gold, and this was a long game, so I managed to get a full build off, and then she started drinking elixirs. Anyways, as you can see, like, Lee Sin is incredibly good at sticking to people. So, like, I'm gonna murder these 2 people. They're not gonna escape. I dance around them. I use my abilities sparingly. If I see that they're even getting a little bit far away from my auto attacks, I initiate the slow and whatnot, and I make sure to just stick on them. They're not gonna go away. They're gonna die. Lee Sin is good at just jumping back and forth in the entire fight. Like, I'll show you the ending score I had in this game. Yeah, it was unfair that they didn't have a jungler, and it was a normal, but it was a random team. I only had 1 friend with me. I'm not going to lie, Lee Sin jungling is very difficult. That's mostly because you got a lot of mechanics and a lot of, you know, theory you have to take in consideration, from energy to skill shots to slows to double abilities to all that other crazy little thing. I didn't mention this in the video, but I should have. I max out Q first and then W. Like, E is my 1.1 there. It's not that's, in my opinion, not that great anymore. Or even with the double Tempest crap, like, I didn't bother much with it. Q is a great skill. Like, I didn't, you know how to properly use Lee Sin. He's that difficult. Like, I learned him just by watching other people. I Chauster lanes with him, and I saw how he went about it. I took that in. I saw other jungle Lee Sins. I'm like, this is how they go about it, and this is how they do their ganks. I totally underestimated his ganking potential, and I saw it as an art form. Just how as lame as this sounds, his ganks can be downright beautiful. It's how you pull them off, how you escape from being countered or whatever, just the amount of movement you can do, the amount of flurry there is. It's downright awesome. It's great to watch, and it's just like when you manage to get that stuff down, you just feel some kind of like exhilaration. So all I'm saying is you can find out whatever build you want for Lee Sin, but just give him a shot. He's incredibly strong. You find the enemy jungler, break his face in. Somebody walks in on you, break his face in. They try to gank you, just fly around and find so many ways to juke them. It's just so cool. It's like one of my favorite junglers. I haven't had so much fun with another jungler in a long time. It's just so versatile. I love the options I have with him. I love the way I can move about the map and how I can go about doing whatever I want. Like, he may not transition as well as some other junglers, but damn it, like, it's just so much damn fun. Just try Jungle Lee Sin. Like, if he's not your style, then oh well. And if he is, you may just find a new champion you fall in love with.